Hey
Yes,
guys,
we
welcome
do.
back to the Mind X Muscle podcast. It's Eleanor,
And Nikki.
and today we're on episode 19. We have a
Have
lot.
on.
Interesting.
We have a good one we're talking about today. I feel like this is one we've been wanting to do for a little bit now because it's so important. But we're going to be talking about support in friendships, families, workers, your peers, like literally anybody. And we could let's start with what support means to us. I feel like that's a very broad question
Okay.
because support can look like so many different things. It could be the friend who shows up at your shows, your games, your events, your business launch, or whatever that is, repost your stuff, likes, comments, shares. But it'll also be a friend who sits with you during hard times, answers the phone at 2 a.m., reminds you who you are when your confidence disappears, or just gives you tough honesty. And then people can feel supported through encouragement or words, effort and consistency. Some people will need like emotional support or someone who listens without trying to fix everything. It could be just like physical support or help when you're moving, childcare, they need a ride somewhere. Others need like quiet support, someone who reminds them of like the small things, checks in after hard conversations or noticing when they're like when you're gone a little quiet. If you're also a competitor or an athlete, you might just need like patience and motivation when you're feeling down or behind. Someone building a business or like a brand might need people who just believe in them, like some encouragement. Someone grieving might not need advice, or someone struggling might not need advice, just more like presence and patience or helping them find different resources. Like support could literally mean so many things. So we wanted to break down on how people can give and also receive support differently, and then what it looks like to us, and then just like things to look out for in your friends and people around you. And if you don't feel supported, like I don't think they really belong in your circle a whole lot, really, because like we're getting older, life's getting hard, we're busy, right? We only have time for our good supportive friends and people around us.
I like what you said about the way that you give support and the way that you receive support. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have probably heard of or even read the book, The Five Love Languages. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I think that's so important to talk about in relationships, and it goes the same way with friends too.
But the thing is, the five love languages have nothing to do with like intimacy or relationship. It literally has everything, or like, sorry, intimate relationships. It has everything to do with relationships in general. So, for those that don't know, the five languages, it's a concept where everybody gives and receives love a certain way. So, the five are quality time, acts of service, gifts, words of affirmation, and physical touch. So you have normally a top two and a third one that usually sits with it. The top two are pretty strong of the way that you give and the way that you receive love. So if you want to take like an online test, I could put it in the description. I'm a big fan of it. It's something that I actually use for couples therapy. And I think it's so important because sometimes the way that you can give love or support, we're just going to use support in this podcast, but the way that you give support is could be completely different than the way that you receive it. So, for example,
God, okay, so
yes.
we're still
So as I
recording,
was
so it'll
saying,
still save everything that we've got up
you
to
can
now,
receive and
right?
give love completely differently. Like your top two, let's say mine is physical touch and words of affirmation. That's how I receive love. I give love through acts of service and quality time, like example. So it doesn't have to be the same, but I think that ties into support. How do you support your person? How do you take support in? Um, I don't know, like I think for Nikki, you're definitely like a words of affirmation person. And you do that
Yeah, like
through
that's
little
what
like
I like to give
quotes
words of
or like
affirmation too.
kind messages like, hi, like, have a good day. Like those, some people may not seem like support, but to someone like me, I take that as support.
Yeah.
And I think it's very kind of like, oh, this person is already having like a shitty day and she's thinking about me and my prep and like how I'm feeling. I remember there were times in prep where I felt really supported by Nikki where I was just low and you could tell I was just low. And I think it's like I post less on Instagram if I'm low. And she would just message me little like on days, just being like, I'm proud of you. And it's nice to hear. It is. That made me supported.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I feel the same way. And like when you send me little things on Instagram, and it's like maybe if you're having like a I don't know, like a more stressful day, and I get that little reel or photo sent to me, I'm like, oh, this is cute. And even just like support, like that in case, like whenever you need something like that, one person's always there. Whether it's like, can you pop in like to feed the cats or like see the cats or something, or even like the dogs if they need something, like you just feel supported through like making sure like we can thrive in our busy ass lives and we're always there for each other. But like it also comes down with communication because the way people might give support may not be how the other person like feels that support. So it's like just communicating, like say you did something for me that I felt supported and me just telling you that like, hey, it made me feel really good when you say that. Like, oh my God, like I love this, or I felt really supported when you did that. Then that's like information for them to know, okay, like this is how they take that kind of thing. It's the same thing when you're like communicating with a
It
partner
is. And I
and you're
think,
talking about love languages.
especially
It's kind of the same thing.
in this sport, specifically in this sport, when you're in it and your environment is in it, because there's a difference between, let's say, being a competitor and you're a new competitor and your family and friends don't understand. It's hard for them to support you because they don't know what you need. And I think a lot of people kind of tend to shut down and take a step back. And it's not until you're in the game for a long time where you realize, okay, you know what? Like, I can have friends that don't compete. I just have to communicate my needs. For example, hey, if I bring my meal, can you just not make a comment about it? Because that bothers me. Like, it does. Little things like that, and then you notice after a while, people start feeling supported. Like, I know Nikki's huge on this. You guys have your big, like, girls' weekends, and your girls at first, I remember you saying, like, at first they didn't understand, but over time, through consistency, through pattern, through the same thing, you would tell them, like, "Hey, guys, I'll go out with you for dinner on this day, but I'm gonna bring my own, like, breakfast and meals for the other day." And I don't know if you wanna share, like, how that experience was for you.
Yeah, and it just goes like back to what you said. People just need to be educated about it and they have to just understand because at first, like even with my family too, they would be like, "Oh, well, you can eat with us. Like we're having chicken, we're having veggies, and like that's healthy food. You can have that." And I'm like, "It's different." And they're like, "Oh, why?" Like they just don't know, right? Like yeah, it's healthy for them. It is a healthy meal, but as bodybuilders, we know and people in fitness, like my meals are pre-weighed for what my meal plan says. And like this is obviously a prep situation per se, but like my meals are already weighed. My chicken is made by me with no seasonings, no oils. Like I can't just when you're in it, when you're especially like in prep,
But
like you
even in
can't
off
just
season.
eyeball the meal that your family or friends are having. Yeah, definitely. Like someone could still be on their meal plan. And there's been times where like I would pick and choose, okay, I'm gonna have a meal with you tonight, but not maybe tomorrow because I'll be back on my plan. Like that's my one day I'm giving myself as like a free meal, which yeah, just letting them know like why I'm doing that. And just you have friends that support you, they will be like, oh, okay, like, well, we're just happy you're here. Like, like, I will still help cook what they're making or, like prepare what they're doing and I'm still being present. I'm just not going to eat the same meal or drink the same drink that you're drinking. That's totally fine. But there has been times where I've had a few friends like
Okay.
kind of make a few comments about it. This was during my last prep,
Your whole prep
not like
last year or 2
the
years
shorter
ago.
prep this year, but it was in 2024. Yeah, so 2 years ago. So I had a friend who would make like a few comments like, "Oh, like you're like I can't wait until you're done this stuff and like so we can actually like eat this together." And I'm like, "But like I'm still here, like I'm just eating something different. Like it's okay. Like maybe eventually we can do that." But you hear that so many times and it's like, okay, like maybe they just don't understand. So I try to like justify myself and like first you make them understand, but then I felt like it was like being repeated and repeated and I kept hearing it. And I was like, then I was trying to like justify myself to like make them feel better. And I'm like, I don't need to do that. So that was kind of like stressful. And I was also at a wedding and the same thing was happening. And they're like, "I can't wait till you're done this bodybuilding thing. Like, we can actually you actually enjoy yourself." And I was like, "I'm actually very much enjoying myself right now. Like, I'm having so much fun. Like, what about you?" Like, putting it back on them.
Sorry.
Like, just, I'm good. Like, maybe, sorry, I was going to say, like, maybe I felt not supported in that moment. And I would have felt more supported, for example, if they were like, "Hey, like, I'm happy you're still here and you're having a great time. Like, you're on the dance floor with us, you're doing this. Like, you're still having a great time. Like, it's cool to see that you don't need to drink or eat the wedding meal to have fun. Like, this is great." Like, say something like that.
No, and I
Like,
think we've talked about this
me
on the
not eating or
podcast
drinking makes
before, but,
no
like, a lot of
difference
the
with how I'm
comments that
feeling right
people
now.
make externally is more internal towards them, is like, how come this person is able to still enjoy themselves and not enjoy the food that's here? But that's because a lot of society has attached food to social events, which is fine. That's fine. It's just the way that we grew up. But as soon as one person takes a step back and says, "Hey, you know what? I'm still going to show up because I'm not attaching my funness, my ability to be present to food," actually is like a very big strength. And I think I think a lot of people don't understand that they're the problem. And it's just like full blunt, just let people do whatever the fuck they want to do. Like, if I'm bringing my meal somewhere, is it going to kill you? Is it going
It's
to kill you? No. No, because at the end of the day, even if I didn't bring my meal, I probably would have eaten it in my car and still come here, and you would have tried to shove food in my face and I would still say no. Not because I devalue you, not because I hate you, not because I don't want you to think that I'm better than you because I'm eating this food from a Tupperware. It's because this just leads me to my goals. This small little pattern of a meal leads me to my goal. Why are you making a comment? Sometimes I think people need to just shut up, to say it bluntly. And I think Nikki, you're very, very kind. And I'm sounding like a bitch. It's not that I'm not kind, but after a while, you get kind of sick of the same question from the same people. Because how many times do I have to explain myself to you to tell you that I feel unsupported? And then people wonder, why is this person backing up for me? Why is this person not around anymore? And they think, oh, it's because this person thinks she's better than us. No, it's because I tried to be there while you weren't supporting me. And it's a whole cycle. Sorry, I went on a bit.
Yeah. No, I love it. But no, it's so true. And like, I told this friend I'm talking about because after a while, like, you just feel so unsupported and you eventually just start to distance yourself from them. And then I ended up like telling her too, like, "Hey, like, I just didn't feel supported. And, like, as a friend, like, I want to be friends in every stage of life, no matter what hobby or interest we're in. Like, let's support each other. Let's be there for each other all the time. But like, this one thing, I just didn't want to hear about it anymore. And like now that I'm not bodybuilding or prepping, I'm like, I wonder if now she'll be, but it's like, that's not the case, right? It's like, if you can't support me then like, you can't support me now and in other stages of my life. Like, that just doesn't fly with me. But I agree with you said where like sometimes the other person is the problem because misery loves company. Okay. They feel like misery loves company.
Undaunted Attire is a one-of-a-kind athletic wear made for comfort, movement, and confidence. Gear that stays secure, feels good, and lets you focus on your training, not your clothing.
Designed for the people who show up, stay consistent, and keep moving forward. Undaunted Attire for the fearless. Use code Nikki or Eleanor at checkout.
Mhm. That should be the title of this. But no, for real. It's like, don't feel like you have to justify yourself for what you're doing. Some people, but then again, some people just don't understand and they want to be educated. Like the whole thing of when I first started doing this whole bodybuilding thing, just educating my family that, yeah, what you're making is definitely a healthier meal and it looks great. But like me on prep with my meal here is way different than that. And they just don't know. Or
Mm,
like another example,
yeah.
my nephew's birthday. This was recent, a couple of weeks ago. This was a last minute. Yeah. So right now, where I'm at in this phase, I do 1 to 2. depending on what's going on, but mainly one off meal, cheat meal a week. And I'll plan it that way. I'll be like, okay, I know I'm doing something on Saturday. I'm going to wait until that day. And like, I schedule my shit around that. Well, I was going home to visit and surprise my nephews for their birthday parties. And I knew we are gonna have a cheat meal. I wanted to like have dinner with my family, have some birthday cake, just like not care. And I did just that. But while we were at dinner, we get on the topic of like talking about food and like different choices. We got on the topic of like hot dogs and just like crappy food and like ingredients in our food these days. And like it was a great conversation. I love talking about that shit. And someone there was like, "Oh, so like you really watch what you eat?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, I just saw you eat like some of the dinner that we had and like a piece of cake. Like, don't you watch what you eat though?" And I was
Wow, I
like,
didn't know you had a spy, Nikki.
yes, but it's like this. I was like, this is a one in a, I was like, this isn't every day, dude. Like, this is an occasion thing. I'm like, you can enjoy yourself here and there, have a little balance. I'm always down for that. But like, yes, 98% of the time I do watch what I eat. It's what you do long term. The more you can eliminate, the more you can change and switch up, the better. But like if you're having one off thing a night, like then they
And I
start coming at you for that too. It's like I just can't win here. Like, but again, education, right? Like, yes, I watch what I eat, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna
Nikki,
not have
you are
something
such a
off
kind person.
plan or off of that rule that I have once in a blue moon.
Because if you guys know me and Nikki personally, like I come from a culture, like I was born and raised in Israel. My parents are both like Russian Israeli. So like culture to us is food and alcohol, to say the
Yeah, look, I was
well,
actually wanting you to elaborate a little bit
I
of how,
will,
like,
but I just
culture
want to
could play
say
a
like
role in, like, how they
what you
get
go
you in these
through is
events.
things that like I go through constantly just because of the culture. Like people don't understand it, right? They're like, no, they don't. And I think you're very kind about
Nope.
it.
Right?
I I'm avoidant and I think I'm just so annoyed of the questions that take a step back and I just won't. I'll just be like, yeah. But I just want to mention, just to anyone watching, don't ever make a comment about what someone eats. If you see it, just shut up. Shut up. Sorry, but like that was not okay. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah.
But in terms of my own culture, like when I first got into bodybuilding, my mom was really, really concerned. But my mom was concerned because I was also struggling with an eating disorder for 5 years. So she saw a lot of the habits that you do in bodybuilding, for example, like weighing your food or like obsessively body checking or, excessive cardio, being at the gym all the time. My mom saw that as she's going back into the same cycle. So she got really triggered because she watched her daughter almost kill herself because of an eating disorder. So, in that sense, my parents have always been very like cautious about me and bodybuilding. However, as time went on, they kind of started realizing like, Eleanor, you're eating a lot right now. A lot. And it would be like 6 meals. So my mom would be like, why are you eating 6 times a day? So then I would start explaining it. And the more time went on and the more that I got patient with them, because I'm a very impatient person, but the more that I got patient with my family, the more I realized that the questions that they were asking wasn't because they were annoyed, wasn't because they were triggered. They just didn't understand. And it's just because culturally, the way that they grew up is not the way that I eat, is not the way that I do things. Like Russian style food is very oily, it's very saucy. Yes, whereas my mom's like, "Do you want me to
Lot of
cook you chicken? Can I
ingredients.
put this on it? Can I put this on it? Can I put this in it?" No. Just just fucking throw her in the oven and we're good to go.
You're like, "Nope."
But then when we're at like for example, we do like big Russian events for birthday
Yeah.
parties and I'll always get the question, "You brought Tupperware." But well, you just paid $100 to enter the facility.
Yeah.
You're
Keep
not
the
gonna
food.
eat anything? Nope, I paid $100 because it's my mother's birthday and I'm here to support her. I'm here, I'm dancing, I'm having a great time, but I don't need food right now because I got my food. Why don't you just like ask because
Yes.
there's like, what's it called? Fs that can make food for you. They can put like no oil. It's very cool and specific. I personally would rather take precaution and just make my own food. It's a personal preference.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's like that. And even people not even in bodybuilding like that have that preference too, or they have like, it's not just normalized because someone has an allergy or
I feel
they have a
supported from
food
my
intolerance.
family
Sometimes it's literally just
personally
preference and like
when
that's okay.
they ask questions about what phase of my bodybuilding prep I'm in versus when they ask me why. So asking questions that directly, like, we bodybuilders, we fucking love to talk about ourselves. We do. So when someone asks me like, "Oh, how many calories are you eating right now?" and I can like happily say like, "I'm eating 3,000 calories." They're like, "What? You're like this little girl." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm eating 3,000 calories." I love that shit. I love the fact that I can express to my family that I'm eating a lot of food and I'm healthy. Questions like, why are you eating like this? Do you hate yourself? I just saw you eat cake. Questions like that just signal trigger. Why are you trying to not support someone? I think another form of support as a friend, personally, if I see, let's say we're in public and one of my friends is getting questioned, I'm going to be there, standing there and communicating, like, just leave them alone. You'll answer the questions, but you do find that a lot in public or even at bodybuilding shows. This is something that I find kind of annoying. I don't know if you've ever related to this. Like, you'll go to a bodybuilding show and they'll be like, "Oh, are you in prep?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not in prep." Then why'd you bring Tupperware?
It's like
Even if I
you're a
didn't, just
bodybuilder
like,
too, don't you
let me do
understand?
my thing. Questions.
It's because I'm plan
The
still my
vents,
plan
we could go
and
on
within
for
my
days.
in my off season.
But I did have some like questions to ask you.
Prevent. No, it's so true. So I'm a huge action speak louder than words person. And it's like, you could say that all day long, but I don't feel it from you.
Yeah,
Like it's just a no for me. Or yeah. Or if it gets to the point where like we keep questioning things or not really giving any support, but keep saying I support you, it's like, okay, like that's nice, but like
I
how?
agree with you.
I
And I
just
think
wanna like
even
actions speak way louder than words.
telling someone like, "I support you," and then not being for them throughout their entire prep, but showing up to show day.
Although I do like when someone says I support you if I tell them something like an update, like, hey, like for example, me not competing this year. If they ask like, oh, are you competing this year? I'll be like, no. And then they'll ask me like, oh, like why? Like, what's up? I'll tell them. And then they conclude with like, oh, okay, like I support that or I support you. Then that's great. Like I love hearing that. But I don't know, it really depends on the situation. Usually like them just saying that is okay, but like obviously
Yeah, I agree
actions,
with you.
depending on what it is, have to come through too. Yeah. Or saying like, yeah, with that I support you. And then all of a sudden they come around and start saying like comments about it or like, like making little
Yeah.
remarks
And you
about it.
can,
Then that doesn't
it's also
match what you
nice
said.
because there's like different support systems in different areas of where you are. So, like at work, people encouraging you at work, like, like if you ever go to like team meetings or like a team building days and people show up with muffins, I like the times where like no one says anything or like they buy me a bottle of mustard or they'll be like, they'll still always ask, like, "Hey, do you want one?" And I know that they're doing it because they're just trying to be kind. But then they'll tell me, "We know you're not going to have one, but we want to let you know that you can have one if you want to," which I think that's kind because it makes me feel like I'm still.
Ooh, that's nice. So to add to that, not feeling supported could be like gifting your friend something or offering them something or giving them something that's like totally out of what they even like. Like nothing makes me like nothing would make me feel less like seen or understood if someone gifts me or even like, I love the kind thought of like the gift, but like if I know that you know me and you're giving me something or offering me something that like for sure that I don't like or I will say no to, but you're like, here, I got you this because I know you'll love it. It's like, are you sure that's for me? I think you got me mixed up with somebody else, you know? Yeah, yeah. And he took into account you still eat the chocolate, just not that kind. And that's fine, right? Like, he's like, okay, more for me. Like, he didn't take it as like, well, like, what the hell? Like, and you were nice about it. So, like, that's it. Yeah, more for me. But he didn't know. And like, that's okay. Yeah. Aw, aw. Yeah, so true. Yeah. Exactly. And sometimes you don't always need to be expected to ask for support. Sometimes, like, you just give it in times where it's appropriate. Another example of how I like to show support is like, I honestly, all the ways, but it kind of just depends on the situation. But um, years ago, one of my best friends was going through a hard time, and it was like almost like emergency. And I was at the gym. I was doing one set of hip thrusts, my first set of hip thrusts at the gym. Then she calls me and starts like telling me everything that's going on. Like she's crying and she's like, just like an update of like what had just happened that day. And like it wasn't good. So I literally, like, she didn't even say, "Can you come here? Like, what do I do?" All I said was like, it was an hour drive. I was like, "I'll be there in an hour." I hung up the phone and I just left the gym and I went there because I'm like, she's in this state right now where like she obviously doesn't need advice or like, "Oh, you should do this." Like, no, someone in that state doesn't want you to be like, "What do I do?" Like, you just have to go there and like help them handle whatever's going on. But sometimes, like, if people aren't able to actually show up or go there, depending on the situation, like, you can just there's other ways to show support of what they might need in that moment, or just let them vent anything and not feel judged, because that's huge too. Yeah. It's yes, 100%. That's very true. And, like, even when it comes to businesses, like, some people aren't able to, like, financially give when it comes to, like, say you dropped merchandise or you launched something, and some people are in a position to, like, purchase or buy things, but, like, a simple I don't know, a simple, like or repost, a share without asking, like, that goes a long way if you're not able to support in other ways, but, like, I don't know, for me, I know, like, I pick and choose, like, how I can support when it comes to, like, financial stuff, like, but, like, if my friends launch, like, I don't know, like a clothing brand, or they launch like something that they're selling, like little kits, or like one of my friends started like a skincare brand and they wanted to like start selling little samples and like start bigger. And I'm like, hell yeah, like mark me down for one, like checkout, purchase, done to my door, like let's go. Because I want to actually like wear it with pride and like show them like this is what I'm doing and show people like, hey, like check out so and so's brand. I love that kind of support. And I feel like because I love doing that for other people, I do like that support back to me too. But again, it depends on people's situations. You can't expect them to do, you also can't expect people to do the same things that you do for them. Like have it fulfill you and make you happy that you've done that for other people. But don't be like, oh, like because I did this, I should be able to have it back. But like that over time too could be hard because it's like I'm pouring into you and I'm like really supporting everything that you're doing and like contributing to your business. But then like when it comes to my turn, I also want to feel that in a way. I don't know, that can be like very like controversial. But I love the honesty and that's way better than like radio silence, because like, what else can I do? And honestly, like, friendships and relationships are a two-way street. At the end of the day, obviously, there is times in your lives where you're gonna have to pick up a little bit of slack because obviously these types of relationships, they are like, oh my God, what's that word? I can't think of it. Unconditional. Unconditional. There are times in lives where someone might be going through some more shit or they have more on their plate and you have to give more as a friend or a partner, and that's totally fine. But at the end of the day, it is a two-way street. And I do find like it's very hard to keep supporting someone else if you're not really feeling it back either. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, say, we're getting older. It's like the time I have like 5 baby showers and like engagement parties and like wedding, like there's so much coming up. And like, think of how like, say if you have a friend who's like, let's just say this year they're getting married and having a baby. And you're at every event, you're helping them plan, you're part of the bridal whatever, you are at the baby shower, you're at every single event supporting the crap out of this person. And then you're still really close, and then your time comes around. I would again, like this goes both ways a little bit. Like I do what I do at the kind under the I do what I do from the kindness of my heart, but then a part of me also kind of expects you to show up for me too, like right? And like life's too short right now. Like everyone has their like close, tight knit friend groups. And like, we need that from each other. You know, we need to make sure like we're both on the same page and we're going to be there for each other no matter what. And like, no matter what part of life, you know? And like, say if I'm in a part of life that's totally different from you, like, you're still gonna show up for me, and, like, I know years down the road, if, like, you go through the same thing, like, I will be there for you for the in the same way, you know? Like, it's just that's how I see, like, respect, that's how I feel supported in my relationships. So, yeah, we talked about friends during bodybuilding, family during bodybuilding prep. We talked about, like, how some things, like, can be from, like, a jealousy point, misery, loves company, all that sort. Outgrowing people, like I said, an example, like, of me, how I kind of outgrew that friend that kept coming back with the same kind of non-supportive comments and stuff. But another one I want to talk about is how your friends are either helping you or holding you back, because I feel like that is a big one. Okay. Okay. I agree. I have a question for you though. No. No. Okay. We talked about jealousy and outgrowing people. That kind of ties into everything there. Well, why don't we finish off with some red flag or valid quick fire? So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions and you're just gonna come back with if this statement is a red flag or is it valid. Okay. Okay. Your friend gets annoyed that you won't drink and they keep saying, oh, one just won't hurt. Drink with me. Okay. Yes. Your friend unfollows you or goes ghost mode after your glow up or achievements. So red flag. Yeah. You want to keep getting better together, encourage each other, build each other up. Okay. Yeah. And if that triggers okay. And I still think you're doing really great, but sometimes you just need like a little reminder, like, hey, this is good. Like you have to be in this spot. Like, and like you can relate to you in that sense and be like, I've been in your spot where like, this is where everything starts to piece together. Like this phase will make sense if you just have to get through it. And you are like, you're still pushing through. I know like, but yeah. Yeah, instead of, like, putting the other person down or being like, "Oh," like or even dismissing how they're feeling isn't cool either. Yeah. Okay, next one. Friend says bodybuilding is too much. It's just too much in general. Like, "Oh, what you're doing is just too much." Yeah. And it kinda depends on why they're saying it's too much. Is it too much because of, like, the way it's making you be as a person? It could be too much for you and you don't see it yet because of the way you're acting, and that's, like it could be in a negative way coming off as. Or is it are they saying it's just too much because it's too much for them and they would not be able to do it, but they see you doing it and they're thriving and it's kind of triggering them. So you gotta kinda figure that out first. You tell your friend that you're now enhanced. They have an opinion about it, but they start with asking questions and getting to know about it, getting to learn. That's valid, yeah. Yeah, or just they generally don't know and they are curious of what goes into that or what you're doing, like what precautions you're taking or like just because that's also a supportive friend is one that like looks out for you still. Yeah. Friend doesn't come to your show. I think it depends. Depends. In the middle of the gym, the guy for all the way to what the plane, the tickets got messed up or whatever. I was literally gonna be on a plane. I'll take that off. Yeah, I agree. And like same thing happened to me. One of my best friends couldn't come to my show, but she said like this is when she was going through a really tough time and like finances were really low and like she was in a situation where she couldn't really leave where she was at for a long period of time. And I told her, I was like, dude, like I totally understand what you're going through. But she communicated that to me. Even though I already knew, I'd be probably mad if she came in that situation. But like she communicated that with me for one. And two, she was reposting my stuff. She was asking me like updates. Oh my God, how you feeling? Like you go on, how you feeling after? Like she was like, supportive that way. So like that's fine. So that one, yeah. Yeah. Okay, last one. Friend posts support online. Like they will engage in your stuff online, but never really checks in with you privately. Yeah. Yeah. Or next time you see them, like even if you don't see them as often, like, hey, I saw your post about this. Like, how are you feeling about that now? Like just checking in that way. It really depends on how close you are with this person too. Like if this is one of your really good friends, that is kind of more of a red flag that they're like doing all this showy stuff online, but not actually checking into you personally. Definitely. Hey, no, yeah, I agree. Yeah, if it's a closer friend, then I'd be like, hello, hello. Some like, yeah, that was. I know this is a really good one. So, yeah, I hope you can, like, someone can take away something from this and just either, like, give your friends a little appreciation for what they do for you. Just honestly, communication's everything. And then you're supporting your friends how they need to be supported too. Yeah, I mean, you can just be specific of maybe something they're doing in their life. Like, just give them a little hype. They'll love it. Trust me. Just be freaking nice. Just we have a surprise of our what this new little setup is gonna be. We want to know because it's different for everyone, right? Yeah. We appreciate you all. See ya. Yay.